on Rubric. In this video, I have got a demo Turnitin submission box, and we would today look at what different types of rubrics you can have for your submission box to make marking easier. So, when you click on the Rubric Manager, it should give you sort of three options via which you can create a rubric. Now, you can click on creating a rubric just by clicking on create a new rubric, or if you want a grading form, you can click on create a new grading form. The difference between the two is when you click on create a new rubric, it provides you with three options. So the first one or the first type is a standard rubric, which would allow you to enter values for each of the scales, and you can also enter the weightings in each of the criteria, and then you'll have a sliding bar to select the relevant criteria or the relevant scale for each of the criteria. One thing to keep notice of, when you give your percentage for each of your criteria, they have to add to a total of 100%, otherwise the rubric won't be created. The next option is like where you can add values to each of the scales. So for example, if the criteria is about title and the scales are excellent, poor, very poor, etc., you can either have a 5 marks for an excellent and going downwards from 5, 4, 3 to 1 for a very poor, and you'll have a sliding scale similar to that. Mostly within the faculty, the one that we use when we set up the rubric is a qualitative rubric. Now, this doesn't encounter any marks, so you don't have to enter any marks. Instead, you just enter the criterias and enter the scales with a feedback, and pretty much use the sliding scale to select whichever criteria fits to whichever scale. And that works fine for all the lecturers. The second option is about creating a grading form. Now, the good part about the grading form is a grading form offers you what it offers you is you can have a criteria, and then you can type in your own comments within here. So, ideally, in a marking scenario, you'll have a criteria, and then you'll have a grading form where you can type your comments and also type the marks manually by yourself. In the next video, we shall see a working example of a rubric and a working example of a grading form.